And we'll specifically go over a couple of the things that students often screw up. So remember that a single replacement reaction is always an element and a compound. Okay, so element, compound, element, compound. Combustion, don't get it confused though, because combustion is an element and a compound, but the element is always oxygen, the compound is always a hydrocarbon. So it has to be something other than oxygen and a hydrocarbon. In a single replacement reaction, you need to determine what type of element the lone element is, okay, the one that is by itself, because that is what decides which part of the compound will be exchanged. So for example, sodium is a metal, so that means it would have to trade places with the cation or the metal in the compound, which will always be first. Okay, so if your element is a metal, it's going to trade places with the first part. If your element is a non-metal, it's going to trade places with the second part. So in this case, chlorine and bromine would switch. But recall that you do have to check all single replacement reactions to see if a reaction will happen at all. So as soon as you identify that you have a single replacement reaction, you should be checking your activity series. Remember that the activity series tells us if a reaction will happen. In order for the reaction to occur, the one that is trying to replace the one in the compound must be stronger or higher in the chart. So think of it as a fight. This person's trying to fight calcium to get chlorine's attention. Sodium, though, is below calcium, so it's not going to win. So in this case, because sodium is below calcium, you would write NR, and that would be the correct answer for no reaction. Here, we have to look at our non-metal chart, our activity series, which is down here. So for this to happen, chlorine has to be above chlorine has to be above bromine. Chlorine must be above bromine, and it is. So that means these two are going to trade places, which means now bromine is going to be the one by itself. And silver and chlorine are going to connect, but it's not ClAg, because remember, your metal always gets written first. So it's going to be AgCl. And then last but not least, we need to figure out the correct formulas based on what they are. Here we have an element, and it is a Brinkelhoff, so it gets a 2. Here we have a compound, so that means charges. Figure out the formula. +1, -1. They are already 1-to-1 ratio, so we do not need any substeps there. Okay. Lastly, you would balance it with your coefficients. And this would be your final answer right here. Okay. So, Chapter 20, Part 2 class kick. 3 additional slides, 4, 5, and 6. We will be working today and tomorrow. If you finish today, you will only need to check in tomorrow, and then you will be allowed to sign off. Okay, so it will be a free period for you.